Hey everybody, Kelly Engineering here, and welcome to episode 51 of Journey Across the Void. In between episodes, I didn't really do much of anything because I've been busy working in Staged Learning, my new series. So, yeah, in this episode, what we're going to do... Oh, sorry about that. In this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to be setting up my auto-crafting station right along this wall, and I had it down below in a little basement area, but it was causing power problems, and I think putting it up here is going to solve those power problems. So, yeah, that's why I want to set it up over here. The first thing I need to do is... Where are all of that stuff located? Is I need to siphon off some power from here, and that's exactly the first thing I'm going to do. I'm just going to eliminate this area, and oh, I forgot that porcelain is breaking easily. Been playing Staged Learning too much. I'm not used to... I'm not used to mining things out so quickly. So, yeah, we're going to mine all of this out. We're going to put some cryo-stabilized flux ducts, and I think I need to make some more because I used quite a bit in the last episode. So, yeah, that's the thing I'm going to have to do. But yeah, we're going to lay down the cryo-stabilized flux ducts. We're going to move it all the way over here to where I'm making the mirrors, and we're going to set up our machines once again. Alright, I have been away from the network room for about 15 minutes now, and not once has the power dropped, so I'm going to call this an unmitigated success for now. The only thing I've hooked up are the compactors in the manufactory over there. I still need to hook up everything else. And as you can see, I'm trying to plan out how I want this thing to look, because I didn't want to interfere with these lights, especially with the placement of this glass right now. So, yeah, on the top we're going to have the interfaces be visible, but looking at it from here, looking at it from ground level, it doesn't really look that bad, especially once we have the conduit facades and the cable covers in. Yeah, I kind of like the look of it. So I'm going to finish hooking up all of these machines, and we're going to go over, there's a special one that I need to go over. Where are you, buddy? Right here, the Soul Binder. So yeah, I'm going to go into the Soul Binder in depth, but everything else pretty much speaks for itself. And while Kelly is hooking that up, I want to go over something from last episode that I forgot to mention at the beginning of this episode. So, I mentioned earlier that the nether quartz didn't have a place to go. It was getting stuck in the ender chest on the way back from the processing center. And that's because I forgot to move the coal ore over. So coal ore was sitting right here, and then regular coal was sitting right here. So, yeah, that was a problem that I had. So I moved the coal over, and coal is being processed properly. It doesn't look very good because coal is sitting right here. But, yeah, I'm messing with the every other that I have going on. And I still... Oh, I have the network tool. Let's turn that off. There we go. Much better. But yeah, that was the main problem from last episode. And also, the second that I stopped recording the episode, I veined mine every single one of the logistical transporters out. So that was absolutely terrible. And oh yeah, the mechanical pipes are... What? Oh man, I forgot to disconnect them. Wait, no I didn't. What the heck? Why did they reconnect? Alright, so that's a problem I'm going to have to solve because I have energized glows. I have nowhere for any of the other fluids to go. Oh, that is... And these all of my ender chests have... Okay, so this is a problem. Let's solve this problem real quick. Alright, so this problem seems to be solved for now, and I'm going to have to keep an eye on it because, yeah, I do not know why the cable's reconnected. I definitely disconnected everything and had it configured properly prior to logging out, and it may just be a restarting the pack thing, like some restarting the pack mess-aroundery. So, oh yeah, and another thing about the ender chest over here is the ender chest populated with a fluid that it shouldn't have because I had the ender tanks rather sitting right next to each other, and they were pushing fluids to their adjacent tanks. So that was weird, and I had to separate them that way. I only have 2 acceleration cards in here because it is really all that made sense. I'm debating whether or not to just remove the acceleration cards altogether, because so long as there is a little bit of fluid in here, I don't have to worry about, you know, like the energized glowstone going into the ender tank that is specifically made for resonant ender. So, yeah, I may just remove the acceleration cards. I don't know. But yeah, now let's get back to the auto crafting station. So while I'm going through and setting this up, I want to just briefly touch on a comment that Lance Patchwork put on Stage Learning Episode 4. And he brought up that I said something in the episode and then literally ignored the thing that I said not even like 5 minutes later. And that's just something that in real life I don't have trouble with, but whenever I am filming, oh, that is bad. Whenever I am filming these episodes, it's something that I have a lot of trouble with, and that is stream of consciousness. So whenever I am just saying stuff off the cuff because I need to say stuff, I can't just have empty space. The things that I say, the pauses I make, the ums I say, those are not things that I say in everyday life. I rarely stutter unless I'm like worked up or like in a froth or something. But yeah, I rarely ever stutter, and then when I'm recording episodes, I stutter all of the time, and my stream of consciousness when I'm trying to say stuff, just it's not easy for me to remember the things that I say or whether or not they even correlate to the next thing I'm going to do, because it's just not in the forefront of my mind. The things I'm saying to you right now in this segment are I'm barely thinking of. It's completely off the cuff, which is not how I normally operate. So yeah, whenever I say or do things and it just doesn't make sense because I ignore the exact same thing or I've completely forgotten that I said it, a lot of the times you'll put in a comment and I'll be like, what the heck are you even talking about? I wish you would put a timestamp so I could go see what the heck I was saying. And even then, once I find it, I'm like, what was I even saying at that point? So yeah, it's when I started this venture of when I started this venture of recording episodes, it's something I knew I had a problem with and something I wanted to get better at. And yeah, 2 years in, and turns out I'm not getting better at it. The stream of consciousness is continuing to is continuing to be a rocky relationship for me. So yeah, I do apologize for any of the weird things that I say, or like in the last clip when I just threw the last clip into Adobe Premiere. And I said, like, what did I say? Mess-uppery? Like, well, that was me catching myself before I said a swear, because I was going to say a swear, and I had to put something in there. So I said mess-uppery, and that doesn't make a lick of sense, but that's just how my stream of consciousness works. And, yeah, so I apologize for any of those future ones or any of the ones that I've done in the past, but I just wanted to let you know that that's usually what's going on in my brain at the time. Oh no. At the time that I say some weird stuff. I mean, going along with what I just said, I just realized shortly after I ended the last clip that I can throw the interfaces into a painting machine. I mean, because I was talking, if I hadn't been talking or if I hadn't been recording, then it would have immediately occurred to me to throw the ME interfaces into a painting machine, make them look like the 1286 block, and then, you know, I wouldn't have to worry about them just tearing the whole aesthetic apart. But yeah, I was talking, so it didn't occur to me, and I would have had to wait till, I don't know, like the comment section when somebody brought it up, and then I would have facepalmed because it's so obvious in retrospect. But talking, it's not obvious at all because your brain is in other places. Like, multitasking isn't easy. It's especially not easy when you're trying to record and make sure that you have the proper shot being made. And, oh yeah, how's this doing? Is it done already? Sorry, I was making some refined obsidian. Alright, so what happens to be the problem here? What the heck? Why didn't anything get put in? Which one of these is handling this? So it made the diamond dust just fine. It made the pulverized obsidian just fine. Why isn't anything going into this interface? Oh, I don't have the sides configured on my metallurgic infusers. Oh no. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I completely forgot that I was saying before I realized that. I completely lost the train of thought. So, I'm going to fix this real quick. Alright, so what I think is happening here is the fact that the interface is not capable of automatically pushing things to the metallurgic infusers, or any mechanisms machines probably. because mechanism machines traditionally require the logistical transporters in order to be connected to them. So I'm going to try something different here, and this is my interface with the enriched alloy. So let's make some enriched alloy. And let's make 10 of them. Start. Alright, cool. So everything went into the chest. Let's turn this into an output. Alright, so the redstone isn't being automatically put in. The iron is just fine. Which means I need to set some purple in here, because red is my input, purple is this input right here. Oh, I wish I could set like multiple inputs. Yeah, infuse purple. So it just went in Well, that puts a wrench in this plan. The entirety of last episode, I manually made every single one of the alloys I needed to make every single one of those factory machines, and it took a lot of time. Like, wow, did it take a lot of time. So I was hoping that I could just easily set up some auto crafting for this, and yeah, that does not appear to be the case, so I'm going to have to restructure this a little bit. Alright, so I was wrong. You cannot paint the ME interfaces, which means I may have to put a pin in this and find some way to, pleasingly route all of the cables necessary, because my next idea was to have the transporters going into the metallurgic infuser for the infusing portion, the purple portion, right here, and then the input from the top. However, there is no, to my knowledge, some sort of conduit facade or anything for mechanism. So I can't hide the transporters. I can't make it look good and make it look like a 1286 block. So that wouldn't be very pretty to look at. My next solution was going to be to paint the ME interfaces, all of them, move them back one block, or move the metallurgic infuser ones back one block, and then have the chest on top. And then it would be easier to route to the top and then the back for the infusing portion, the purple portion. And since I can't paint it, it's gonna look like butt. Yeah, so yeah, we're just going to move on and put a pin in this and figure out a pleasing way to do it a little bit later. For now, though, what I want to get into is my last machine, the soul binder, and I may as well put a slice and splice next to it anyway, just for continuity's sake. Yeah, we're going to put it right here, and the thing about the soul binder is it requires experience in order to run. So I need to find a way to constantly be putting experience into this in order for it to work properly. And that's what we're going to figure out. Alright, we are just about ready to finalize this little setup over here. And what I have is an ender tank hooked up to my my meat farm, where all of my experience is anyway, and we are going to throw in an ender resonator and a soul vial, and you see that the experience is filling up immediately. I don't have to insert anything. However, oh man, that is beautiful. And power, I switched out the hardened flux ducts work for everything else. However, for the Ender IO machines, they take power quite quickly, so I swapped out resident flux ducts, and they work amazingly. And there we go. I just made Sentient Ender. So now that we have Sentient Ender, we can complete that recipe, throw it in there, and close out this episode. Boom, throw it in there. All right, so I'm actually quite happy with what I accomplished in this episode. You gotta be kidding me. There we go. Yeah, I'm quite happy with what I accomplished in this episode. For these slice and splice, I swapped out these dark shears for unbreakable supremium shears, and that way I didn't have to add them to the recipe, because otherwise I would have had to, in this encoded pattern, throw in a pair of shears and an axe in order for it to work. Since they're unbreakable and they never leave anyway, then it's fine. We can have them this way. But yeah, I am very happy with this episode, and I'm ready to close it out. In between episodes, I'm going to hook up the rest of these machines, figure out a way to get the metallurgic infusers to work properly and look good, and hook in the rest of the machines behind here that I didn't get to. So I need to find 8 machines that I feel like hooking in. These redstone furnaces back here, I have no patterns inside them, so I need to find some pattern or think of things that I want to be cooking at times and throw those patterns into the furnaces. But yeah, I am Kelly Engineering, and I hope that you did enjoy this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.